Hello there, welcome back to Crafters TV. It is a launch day for you. Always very exciting to bring you a launch day because it means it's something you've not seen here before on Crafters TV. And today, I know you're going to love these, you really are. They're the Christmas Creator Scene Edgeables that we're going to be taking a look at. They make some amazing concept cards for you. I'm going to run you through absolutely everything you're getting in just a second, but there's a lady I know that loves to create a scene, and she's with me in the studio. It's Jan Brown, fresh back from the holidays. How are you, Jan?
Honestly, I'm good, Joe. I think I just needed a big rest, which I've had, and I'm fighting fit again, raring to go. Awesome. So yes, wasn't very well last time I was here, but I'm all recovered now. And just to say thank you to everybody out there, because I've had so many nice messages, people worrying about me, people wishing me well, and I really do appreciate it, guys. It does cheer you up a little bit when you're feeling a bit down. So yes, I've tried to sort of acknowledge most people that have contacted me, but it's nice to know that you're all out there. But yeah, fighting fit, back today, brand new launch, and can't wait to get crafting. So
amazing. So there's loads of awesome things. I'm quite excited to see what you do with these, because they do lend themselves to concepts, which I know you love, Jan.
I know, and I've just got this one here, just sort of sat waiting, because we've just gone through all the samples, and this one's been made by our Maxine, a member of the design team. And you think, well, it just looks like a box, Jan, you know, what are you raving about? But when I open this up, this is what this launch is all about. This is the type of thing. So if I just lift this, you can see the actual depth that we've got in there, and all those beautiful layers are all separate. So if I actually pop my bone folder in here, you can see that there's like 1, 2, we've got 3, 4 layers deep in here, and you can create whatever kind of scene you like. We've got 4 main themes for you, but there's nothing to say that you can't mix and match them if you buy in the bundle, because the way that they work, it is all the same, and I'm going to talk you through all that as we go along. So that was just a bit of a showstopper, I think, that one. And then I'm just going to quickly show you what I'm going to be demoing. So we're going to start off quite basic, and we're going to follow the instructions that come with the set to make the basic concept design, which looks like so. And awesome. I'm going to teach you how to do this with the little, you can see the little cubes that are holding each layer up. So I'm actually going to teach you how to make this one first, so that you've got that concept. And then moving on from there, you can apply what you know about edgeables to pretty much any style. So we're going to do a stepper card later in the show. If I turn that sideways, you can see we've got those layers on the different steps in the card there, just building it up. And then we've got a bow front. We're going to create one that's got that lovely curve on the front of it there. All right. And then again, this is similar to the one that I showed you at the beginning, but done in the black card. Looks stunning. So again, you've got that lovely scene on the front, but when we open it up, inside you've got that tunnel card with all those different layers. And I know our Craig did something similar to this morning with the acetate in, but just simple black card and gilding wax, and it comes up a treat. Oh, beautiful. And then the last design, this one's not actually a demo, but this one is part of the collection. So you've got that lovely little scene on the front, but we've got Christmas morning. Just look at that. And you can play with these. It mixes and matches with your inks, with your pens, you know, the sparkles, whatever colouring mediums you've got. If you like watercolouring, absolutely fit all of them. So yeah, loads to go at today, Joe.
Brilliant. Let me tell you what you're going to get then in here. I'll show you the boards, and you can see the actual dies themselves and how they're going to come to you. You've seen the amazing concepts that you can do. I can't believe the saving on this as a whole collection. £20 or what, £16.80 is your saving first. So you are going to get the tape pen in there as well, which is excellent. Let me take you through the boards themselves then. So you've got a Bethlehem scene. Now they are all available individually for you. They're also available on a 2 for £30 or $36. So it's up to you how you choose to get a hold of them. That's your Bethlehem scene there. Really love that sort of Bethlehem skyline, and you've got the 3 wise men, the star in there as well, which is going to help you embellish those. Then we move into this one here, which is your Christmas Eve scene. Really love the kind of abstract quality to the houses in here, and also Santa there on his sleigh. You could extend that, make it longer, have more reindeers, have less reindeers. It's completely up to you. These next two I'm going to show you. Now these are, if you're in the US, you will only be able to get these from us here at Crafters TV. They will not be featured on HSN. You will not be able to get them for any of our other retail partners in the US. So if you maybe have got your order in over on HSN and you're thinking, I'd love to complete the collection, remember, take advantage of the 2 for £30 or $36, because this one here, Snow Day scene, exclusive to us here if you are shopping in the US. And also this one here as well, a Christmas morning scene. This will not be retailed in the US. I especially love that one there. I think it's so evocative. So do grab them if you wish to get them, either by getting the whole collection and getting that great saving, or of course getting the multi-buy or buying them individually. It's up to you. You will get the tape pen included in there as well, which is awesome. Very, very busy already on these, as I knew it would be, because they do make something stunning, but are quite simple to put together, which Jan is going to show us shortly. As always, if you've ever got any questions, you can get in touch with me really simply by heading over to Facebook and searching for Crafters TV, dropping into the live feed there, or if you're across on YouTube, search Crafters Companion, and you will be able to drop into the comments there. Lots of people saying hi. Valerie saying good morning. Lynn saying hi, I can see Pat, Jill, Georgie Ann's here, Rosalind. Valerie says hello, smoking hot Joe. Cool glasses emoji. Valerie also says good morning Jan as well. And Rhonda says so wonderful to see you back. Renee's glad that you're here. Suzette sending you lots of love as well. So I guess we should take it away, Jan, in that case. I'm so excited to see how these go together.
Fantastic. Do you know, again, it's that ultimate sort of wow factor with the cards, but breaking it down into the steps, it's really straightforward. And I'm going to show you that original concept design, which is how we sort of envisaged it when we designed the product. And then throughout the show, I'll show you different ways to use them. So we're going to start off with the Bethlehem scene. And I know this is the one that Craig used this morning, but for what I need to do on this particular one, it's this die. So they all come to you in pretty much the same kind of configuration. So there are 3 parts plus your extra piece here with the star in this one to make those different layers, and you can have them in whatever order you wish. They're actually set out in sort of the background, the middle one and the foreground, but there's no reason why you can't mix them up. There's no reason why you couldn't duplicate.
I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't put Santa flying over Bethlehem if you wanted.
Why not? And I'm just thinking, just looking at it straight away, Joe, you know, you've got this one which when it's die cut has got the detail at this side, but there's no reason why you couldn't die cut it and flip your die cut over to have this at the other side as well. So, you know, lots of versatility with them. And
so
then
you could make a double one then if you wanted to,
could.
like have it as a continuation all the way across.
Yep, absolutely. And in each one, you get your list of instructions. There's a set of 6 instructions, and that's what we're going to work our way through on that first demo, so that everybody, if you're ordering this today and you get these out, you've got some visual content to come back to. Bookmark the show, and you can actually come back and have a look at this in conjunction with the instructions. And you've got both picture form, written instructions, and you've got me actually showing you how to do it, and it's there for you to keep. So let's get cracking then. I'll put those up to the top. Step 1 asks us to cut 3 pieces of card that are approximately 7 by 5 inches, and that is the length of the die. That's why we've gone for that length. You can see there that that just fits nicely from one edge to the other. So 7 by 5, this is all in your instructions. We've cut 3 pieces because we've got the 3 different layers on the die. Okay, so step 2 says place each of the dies on the card with the top cutting line close to the top edge of the card. So just for those of you that haven't come across edgeables before, if I get our George to zoom in for us on that one while I just hold it still there, you can see there that the actual theory behind these is that the cutting line comes along and it goes round the top edge of the design. There is no cutting edge here, so this is going to stay intact. So I'm going to get a piece of card. If I flip this over, this is the way we're going to cut it. I'm actually going to get a piece of card with this lovely detail on the edge here and cut across this sort of, in sand in this case, if we're in Bethlehem. And then this bottom piece is going to stay in place. So let's pop those through the machine and I'll show you what I mean.
Great value then, Jan, because when you think about it, really, you're getting 3 edgeables in each pack. So I know it's a 6 collection. It actually gives you 18 different edgeables for that price that you've got there. And no reason why you couldn't use these on their own individually if you just need a little something on the front of the card. You
could, and as I say, some of them will mix and match as well, you know. I mean, I don't think we see many sort of fir trees in Bethlehem, but
do we not?
There's nothing to stop you mixing and matching them with other things as well, do you not?
I don't think there's many fireplaces either, to be honest.
No.
But, you know, you could have a go. You do you, as I always like to say, Jan.
Yep. So all I'm going to do is get some pieces of low tack tape at the ready, and then we're just going to position these. And it asks you to actually place them close to the top edge of the cardstock. Now, the reason they've said that is so that you can trim the bottom edges off to suit what you want to do. Now, I know roughly where I want mine to sit, so I'm going to work, let's move these to one side. I'm going to work with the background one, and we're going to put that right up to the top of the card. So I'm literally going to make sure that the buildings are straight and not rolling down the hill, Jan. And then we're going to tape that one onto there. Okay, now the second one, which is going to be sort of the middle of my scene, I'm just going to drop it down a little bit. Now, if you want to cut them all up at the top here and then adjust it at the bottom, that's absolutely fine. But from making, I know roughly where this needs to be. So I'm going to go sort of round about the middle so that this one sits slightly lower down when we put them together, and you've got this one showing behind. So again, I'm going to tape that one down onto there. And then the last one, obviously, is going to be the forefront, so I can pop this one lower down again. So again, just a little bit of tape to keep it in place there. So we're going to go sort of about there. Make sure that they're not falling off the edge. Okay, and then pass these through your die cutting machine. So I've got the Gemini and I've got the large Gemini out here, but each individual piece will fit through your Junior and through the MIDI. Awesome. So depending on what size project you're working on, that sometimes dictates what size machine. So I think we can probably get away with doing a couple of these at once.
Barbara, so can these dies work at any point on the cardstock? Can you use them, I think she means at any sort of point on your cardstock,
yes.
High or low? You don't have to use them in the order that they are
No. You can decide what order you want to use them. You can decide whereabouts you want to position them. Yeah, I've just done this because I want to create that gradient with the background, the middle, and then the forefront of that design. So I'm just going to pass the first two through.
Lisa says, love these, already bought the HSN auto ship and purchased the two that completes the set from Crafter's Companion. Yes, remember, the two that will not be retailed on HSN in the US are a snow day scene and a Christmas morning scene. So a lot of you going for them on that multi-buy, which is any two of these for £30 or $36. So get the big kit. It's the best way to get the best value. If you do want to cherry pick, they're available individually for you as well, or on that 2-4, which is excellent. Got all the options, Jan, haven't we?
Absolutely. Yeah, all the different configurations. So I'm going to take the tape away, just grab that one before it falls out, and then you can see how it's actually cut along that die there, but I've got the image still left in place. So we've got that lovely sort of shaping going on, and then I've got my three wise men bearing their gifts ready for baby Jesus on that first one. The second one had the next row of detailing. So again, I'm just going to release the tape off there, and I've stuck my tape onto the piece that's actually going to be cut off. So if it does do any damage, this is actually going to be the scrap piece that we don't need. And again, just gently tease that off. And I've got one or two little bits there that are just in the windows. Now I'm going to keep this one fairly plain, but there's no reason why you couldn't actually pop some, maybe some mirror card or something like that to make it look as if it's got lights inside there. You could just, pop it on and then trim round it. And then also just here, you can just see that on there. There's a little bit of embossed detail, which is the stable, which has got Mary and Joseph in there as well. So I'm just going to highlight a little bit of that with ink in a second. And then my third one, I thought I'd lost one then, and it's still in there, look. This is actually the background one, which is the same again. Just release the tape off there. And then we've got that last piece. So this piece is the scrap. And if you've not quite got it lined so that it doesn't quite come out here, just take your little scissors and you can just snip that edge to where the die's I've just obviously got it overlapped a bit further at one side.
So would we always have to have a 7-inch width card here? Could we use these with longer cards or shorter cards if we wanted to?
You could absolutely, Joe. Obviously, if your card was longer, what I would do is perhaps just draw the line in with a pencil and then cut it with my scissors. If it was shorter, you could condense it so that you've just got these pieces. Now, obviously, if it's shorter, you're going to get more sort of overlap with them if they're not quite as long.
Right.
Yeah, you with me?
Yep.
I know this is all white, but the one that I've got ink, so you'll be able to see them. Let me swap to those that I've cut out because I've popped a little bit of ink, and you can see now where we've got those 3 definite layers there now. Now, if you were reducing these and reducing the width of your card, you're going to get sort of more overlap with them, so they're a little bit closer together.
Yeah.
But it's there to play around with, you know.
Awesome.
Just because the cutting edge stops here doesn't mean that you actually have to stop your project there. As I say, it can be continued and just cut into it with your scissors. So I'm going to pop all those to one side, and we've done our die cutting there. Step 3, it says to create a card base. So I've taken a piece of stamping card and I've just cut 7 by 5 inches on my card blank there, and we're going to go with the top fold. So literally, I've got my card blank at the ready there. Okay, so we've got that going, and then on that set of instructions, it asks you to cut 6 strips of card that measure 2.5 inches by 1/2 inch. Okay, and this is all in the instructions, so don't worry about what size did Jan say, what did she say to measure, because it's all written down in your instructions. So cut a strip of card that's 0.5 by 2.5 and score all the way along at half. So every 1/2 inch I've scored a line, and literally we're just going to fold on all those lines like so, and when you bring it round, it's going to create you a little sort of cube.
Awesome.
All right, and this is what we're actually going to stack some of the pieces against to give you a little bit of depth in there for this particular design. Okay, so let's pop those up there. So I'll just finish that last one, stick that one together. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on one of those tabs and then literally fold it onto the last one of the other. And you'll find that these will fold flat so that when your card closes, everything's going to fold down flat, but when you open it, they will pop up and you'll give you that little tiny cube. So I've done some of these ahead of time, and we've got 6 of those at the ready. So we want 2 behind the first layer, we're going to put 2 behind the second layer, and it's almost like a little spacer. All right, you'll see what I mean in a second.
It's incredible that these fold flat as well, Jan.
Yep, absolutely, so that when you've actually done the card, you can see in here where those little spacers fit in. You can see down there from the top, but they all fold completely flat. You've only got the bulk of the actual layers in there. All right, so they would still fit in a flat envelope, but you've got them there to actually stand up, and it gives you that dimension. So that's what we're aiming for. So step 4, it says to fix 2 of the cubes into the crease of the card. Now, just before I do that, I'm just going to do a little bit of matting and layering. So I've taken some cardstock and papers from the one of the Christmas pads there, and I've made myself 3 mats and layers, and these are just 1/4 inch increments. So we've got 6 3/4 by 4 3/4 on the black layer, and then 6 1/2 by 4 1/2 on the paper layer. So let's get those stuck down at the ready. So there's 1 to go on the front. And again, this could be actually done with your inks. If you like making backgrounds, you know that I'm always playing around with my inks. You could actually do these with your inks. You could do them with your sparkle inks, your aqua tints, anything like that that you like to make backgrounds with. Or if you prefer, you could actually use the paper pads, which is what I've gone for on this one today. And then I've made one for each side of the inside, because we're going to see top and bottom. If I bring this one back in, I've got 1 to go behind the scene, and I've got 1 at the front there just to add to the decoration. So we're going to pop those in place as well, and I'm just using my double-sided tape pen there just to secure those in. So we're going to pop 1 at the front there.
Any questions you've got, remember, get them into me. Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion across on YouTube. Getting very busy now on this particular collection, especially the whole collection. That seems to be what people are going for at the moment. I know you're going to create so many awesome cards with this. I imagine we would get a craft along scheduled pretty soon with this as well, so you'll all be able to craft along. It really cries out for a craft along, this one, doesn't it? Because of all those concepts you can do.
Yeah, there's so many different types of card with them. I mean, you might simply want to just use one of those layers and just, you know, for example, you could actually have your card and you could cut it across the front here, you could cut it at a diagonal, you could cut it out of the top, just like our traditional edgeables are known for. But because we've got 3, we're actually creating that scene with all 3 of those images. So what I wanted to do just before we pop these together is just on the middle one, I said there was a little bit of embossing here. So just really lightly, if I go over that with my ink, let me just grab a little bit more ink there, and I just want to try and bring that up so that you can see what I'm talking about there on screen. And we've just got, just in front of it, we've just got the stable.
Oh yeah,
you can just see there's the little image of Mary and Joseph,
which you can see quite clearly in person, can't you? Sometimes they're a little hard to see, but yeah, on the board here I can see it really clearly.
Yep. So it's just all those little details, I think, that just make it, so to finish it all off. So what the instructions are telling us to do then is to fit 2 of these cubes up to the fold in our card. So we're wanting to stick them inside, and I'm just going to hold them in place there with my thumb for a second, against that score line in the middle. So we're going to have 2 of them, 1 at each edge, sort of like so. All right, now you want to make sure that these are going to stick down well, so either a wet glue, or I'm going to go for my red line tape here, and I'm going to look at the bit that's got the join, okay, and then just pop a little bit of red line, because you want to make sure these are going to be opened and closed. You know, they are like a concept card, so because they're being opened and closed, I want to make sure that these are going to stay in place. So again, where I've put that join in, I'm just going to pop a little bit of red line, and I'm going to do that on all of them while I've got my tape out, and then we can get those pieces stuck into place.
This is not our only show today, of course. I mean, it's a double Jan day here on Crafters TV. It
sure is.
Myself and Jan will be up as well for Monday Makers at 7 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. East Coast time, 11 a.m. for West Coasters. And then that's it. Then I'm off for a couple of weeks after that, Jan.
Oh, I know.
You'll get a well-deserved rest from me.
I've just had my 2 weeks off, and now you've got yours, haven't you?
And then I'm off. Craig's off just before I go off as well.
Yeah.
August is that month where we all get our holidays in, isn't it?
Isn't it?
It's the month to go away, it seems.
Well, my youngest daughter works in school as well, so obviously she can only take school holidays, which is why we tend to have our summer break during the school holidays, so that we can spend some time with her. And I know it was the same when I was in school. You know, you can't take holidays at other time of the year, so it tends to be at a certain time.
Yeah, August. Right. We all love to go in, because the weather's usually great, Jan.
Well, we've had some really nice days. I mean, I've only been up the East Coast, and we've had some lovely days, I must admit.
It's
been a nice break.
I think it's cooler than average at the moment, isn't it? Let's put it that way. We've had a lot of rain here in the northeast.
Yeah.
And we were meant to be having a heat wave this week, Jan. It got cancelled.
It got cancelled. They've decided.
Someone cancelled the heat wave.
Have they postponed it, or have they cancelled it?
No, I don't think it's been postponed.
It's actually cancelled.
I think we'll probably blame. What can we blame it on? You know, it's been cancelled. That's it. Yeah, it's the most 2021 heat wave ever. It just didn't happen.
Just didn't happen. So again, I'm holding the card up so that I can position these against that score line. All right, and then once I've got them stuck down, give them a good burnish into place. I'm not too worried about the back. If you want it to stand up in its entirety, we're going to need to pop a little bit on here, but I'm going to put some wet glue on here. When I've finished, I'm going to fold it all together. And then the idea now is I'm going to continue with the tape, just because it dries. In fact, I can use the glue gun. I would recommend probably the tacky glue here, because what we're going to do is we're going to fold these flat, and we're going to stick that first piece onto the front so that it lines up with our actual card. So just for speed, and because it dries straight away, I'm actually going to go with a little bit of hot glue there.
Well, we had a right show of it. We had a right show last night, myself and Debbie Robinson, Jan.
Dare I ask?
Yeah, it was to do with a hot glue gun and the bells, the jingling bells.
The jingling bells.
Yes.
I dread to think.
Debbie didn't call them bells.
I was watching her this morning, and what was she doing? She was getting something out again, and I'm like, Debs.
Yeah, she was on form last night, let's put it that way. We lost it. It was like Wax Sealgate all over again, yes. It was a very funny day. Go back and watch the show later if you didn't see last night, Second Chance Sunday.
I was speaking to her the other night. She rang me on her way home, bless her. She was filling me in on everything. So then, with the next two, once we've got that first piece in place, and you can see now when it pops back up that we've got those two little pieces in the background there. So the next ones I'm going to butt up to that piece that we've just put in place. And again, give them a good press down there. And we're going to take a second one and pop that at the other side again. So just to take that tape off there.
Jan does such fantastic construction shows, says Crafty AJ. She also says, welcome back. Yolanda's going to be saving this. Fred says, yay, I'm a Jan fan. That's what they called your supporters, the Jan fans.
Jan fans?
Or the fan Jans.
Oh.
The fan Jans. I like fan Jan. Sounds like a delicious sort of watermelon or orange flavoured drink you'd get on a holiday in Fuengirola, doesn't it? Oh, can I have 2 tins of Jan fan, please? Or, dos Jan fan sin yellow, por favor.
And then I'm going to pop this one down flat now so that I've got the fronts exposed again. So if you think the back piece is going to be the top, this is actually the front edge. So again, I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on there. And as I say, if I was making this at home, I would probably be using our tacky glue just to make sure that I've got that little bit of movement in it. And again, this one's going to lay on the top of that one from edge to edge. And we're going to seal those little cubes behind. So give that a second just to adhere, and you can see now that we've got that dimension going on between the two layers. And then once I'm happy with them all, I'm going to stick the backs together as well. So I'm going to do exactly the same with those next two, Joe, and just pop those down for that third piece.
A lot of you agreeing that these go together more simply than you had presumed they would. Barbara says, oh, it's also that's how you create the layers. Sarah saying, well, now that is easier than I thought it would be. Shadiah, she says, I'm very late to the party, for the party, Prince Joe. Please forgive me. You are forgiven, Shadiah, always. Lynn says, the downfall of working in a school is you have to have your holidays in the school holidays.
Yep.
Which means you have to pay school holiday prices.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true that. But don't you get loads of holiday if you're a school teacher?
It's a bit of a myth.
Is it a myth?
It's a bit of a myth.
Because I thought it was like 12 weeks or something like that.
You do get a lot of time that's not in school.
Right.
But I know from experience that a lot of that time spent working at home.
Right.
Getting ready for the next term, getting up to date with marking and data and things like that. There's a lot goes off behind the scenes that people don't tend to think about. And it really upsets me when I see people commenting about, oh, they get all those school holidays, and I think, you don't know the half of it.
Oh, there you go.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Consider me told.
Yeah, I've been there. Right, so we've got them all in place, and you can see how they all lay flat that way, and then when I close it to this way, they're actually going to close flat this way as well, and you've just got the bulk of those 3 layers. So, you know, you may want to make a nice little gift box to go in, but it would comfortably fit in an envelope. So what I'm going to do now is just pop a little bit in that back section. So this is the opposite side of what we stuck onto the layers, so that that one can now fasten to the back of the card. And again, just hold it for a second or two for that glue to grab. And then I'm going to do the same on the mid layer and stick that to the first layer. So this one's going to go on to there. And on that front layer, we're going to do the same again, so that you've got the facility for that card to actually stand up then. So again, that one's going to go on there, so that we've got the actual shaping going now. Just let that glue dry for a second. And now it's all stuck together. You can see that it stands up beautifully, and you can see that mechanism in the edge here, just made, so all those little bits of scrap card that you've kept and you didn't know what they were going to use them for will come in handy for these. And if you make them in the same colour as what you make in the rest of it, it sort of blends into the background there. And then just what's left is decoration. So we've literally got Christmas blessings. I've just done a couple of stamps. We're going to pop that one on the front there. And then also in that set, you have got that lovely little star. So again, I'm just going to pop this one in the background here. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the tacky glue there. Because I've cut this out of Miri card, I'm going to be very sparingly with the glue. Oh, I've not used it for that long. Look, it's decided to go on strike.
Oh dear.
Oh.
It's sad enough it's gone on its holidays like the rest of us, that's why.
It's come, I've not got it back on form. Are we there?
You know what's going to happen now, Jan, don't you?
Oh,
you're going to give it a squeeze.
And it could go everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's because I've not used it for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I feel quite bereft. I've not done any crafting.
No crafting?
No crafting for a couple of weeks. I've been
Wowzers, trousers.
Spent a lot of time actually trying to sort out my craft room into some kind of working order. I'm getting there. And once I've got there, I will put some pictures up for you. But I've moved it round a bit to try and use the space a bit better. And then just on the front there, I've just done another one for the front. And I forgot my ribbon again. I'm terrible at not putting the ribbon on. So we'll just tie a little bow instead.
Maybe it's just not meant to be.
I know. But
maybe the ribbon chooses you rather than you choosing the ribbon. That's what
you'll get the idea. I'll show you the one that we did earlier. So that's taken care of all the steps on there. We've done all those. We've literally kept the front quite basic, and on this one I'd actually popped the piece of ribbon round there as well, just to add another decoration to it. And then the detail is going to be in that pop-up on the inside then. You can see those different layers, and the fact that once it's there, it's literally all standing by itself, and that's how you would display it, I think. And then if you wanted to pop a message, I would probably mat and layer the back as well, and then actually put my message on the back here if you were writing, you know, a greeting to whoever it was going to, because you've got that detail inside there.
Amazing, absolutely beautiful. Okay. So glad to see them coming together. I've got some breaking news from Jill in North Yorkshire. She says they say it's due to be warm in September. They're not saying heat wave nor how long it lasts. But Jill, they told us that all the way through July, about August. So, yeah. I mean, I'm sceptical. We will see. Let me take you back through the amazing dies that you'll get included in here then. You've got 4 really awesome themes that I know you're going to be able to create a lot of different projects from. Your first one here is the Bethlehem scene that you've just seen Jan creating with their really gorgeous, and I think a lot of you are really stunned just how easily these went together. Then you've got your Christmas Eve scene, which is this one. Love those kind of abstract houses that you've got in there. You've got snowman, the tree, you've got Santa and his sleigh. You can break these down and use them individually if you want. And actually in this one, you think about it, you've got 3 edgeables and then that big Santa sleigh with the reindeer as well separate. So you've got 4 clear distinct ways of using that one there. Now these two, there's a few questions coming in. Who is it that was asking me? Let me just see if I can find the question. There, I'm going to say, yeah, Chandra Schmeeg was asking which are not available on HSN. This one is not going to be featured on HSN. If you're in the US and you want to get this one, you will need to get it from us here directly. This is your snow day scene, and exactly the same on this one here as well, which is your Christmas morning scene. So if you want those two, you will have to get them from us directly. Of course, they're in that main bundle, or you can get them individually or on a 2 for £30 or $36. So it really is up to you, however you choose to get your hands on them, whether you're going for the lot or going for a couple of the individuals. But do grab them, because I know you're going to be creating some really awesome projects with these. Now we're going to move on. I want to share with you, you might need somewhere to store these. Let's start with a large one just here. So I've got, these are your large stamp and die folders. Now these are excellent. In this particular configuration, you're going to get 2 sets of the magnetic panels, and they really are the optimum way to store your dies, so you can ensure that they are not going to become damaged. The thing is, you know, your dies, as long as you look after them, they're going to last you your crafty lifetime really. So in here, they all magnetize on there. The other great thing about them as well is that you've got the option, if you want to store some stamps on the back. We do sell separate acrylic acrylic panels that you can use to store your stamps. But you can store them by collection, you can store them by theme, whether it's Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries. It just means you've got everything nicely organised. You've got some little pockets on the, let me just flip that back over. Oh, there we go. You've got some pockets on the inside of here as well. Really good quality too. So really good quality zip. It's all beautifully piped and double stitched. They are fantastic. If you've got several of these as well, they will sit upright on a shelf if you want to pop them like that. You can go for that one. You get 6 sheets of those panels, which is 2 packets, or you can go for the smaller one. So the A4 size are exactly the same, but in the A5 size. So up to you which one you want to go for there. Now, I know we can just never get enough of them, can we? We've got some gorgeous papers and acetates and vellums on the show for you as well. Let's start with the acetates and the vellums, which are these ones here. Now, these are from our Gnome collection, and they are just stunning. Look at this gorgeous Snow Flurry vellum that you've got here. So you've got it in the Snow Flurry. You've also got it in the Snowflake, which is that one there. Then you've got exactly the same on the acetate. So you've got it in the Flurry, and you've got it in the flake as well. So at $6.39, you got great saving there actually, 20%, which is brilliant. That platinum price is awesome as well, $5.11 or $6.37. 20% off of all of these, which is awesome, considering they're this year's releases as well. That's a really great deal. Oh no, it's happened, Jan. Oh gosh, bear with. You know, do you remember when I first started, Jan? It felt like I used to spend 40% of the shows trying to get these open. Yeah, I've got a new one for some reason, I don't know why, but I'm going to go with it because I know that no one's going to have cut any bits out or had their hands on any of my pages, because honestly sometimes I go to flick it and there's like 2 pages in there where everyone's been having a good old helping themselves to them. So nice box fresh one. Let me show you here what you've got. So this is your Gnome pads. It's 12 by 12 size, really beautiful. What I love about the Gnome pad is that you've got really lovely kind of fairly modern designs in here, but I love the fact that you've got really nice sort of uplifting colours. I think it's quite bright for a Christmas collection, which is lovely, and you've got some more traditional imagery in there as well. Really great all-rounder when it comes to your festive crafting that you might want to be doing. So you can go for that one. We've then also got the luxury card pad from the Gnome collection as well. Again, those two together are going to work beautifully. Double-sided this as well, and a good weight. So 250 GSM. That means if you want to construct with it, you want to make card blanks with it, you've definitely got the option to do that. See, this is what happens. This is the sort of thing that happens, Jan, when you leave them open, you see.
Yeah, they've taken a little
Someone's
piece
come in
out.
and had a good old snip there on my pad. Let me move on. Well, let me share with you as well this one just here. Now, this is your 'Twas the Night collection. Really beautiful. Very classic, this one. The great thing, I think it's very different to the Gnome collection. This is very, very traditional. Really beautiful again. Going to work really well with, I think especially the Christmas Eve scene and the snow scene in this collection would work well with that. You've got that one there, so $4.79 or $7.96, or you can go for your luxury card. One of my all-time favourite colours. This is like Karamat gold, that one, isn't it? Really lovely. Yeah. The red is a true Christmas red and the green is a real Christmas green. But I absolutely adore this blue. This blue and the blue from the watercolour Christmas are two really gorgeous. All pearlescent again for you, 250 GSM, double-sided as well. So great to snap those up. So do grab those. Right, let's go back to and see what everyone is saying in the comments here. There's a lot of love. Shadai says, hello, Nana Jan. It's a pleasure to see you. Hope you had some great time off. Sarah's Creation says, you know, if we didn't watch these demos, we would not be buying everything. Yes, I'm ordering this set. Dana says their glue goes on strike regularly. Carlene says as well, just Jan opened up a whole new world of techniques there. Loads of love for that last demo. And Karen's asking just again how wide these dies are.
7 inches across. Yep. So the cardstock, the length of them are 7 inches. Again, if I just take this one out of the packet, show you what I mean. So you've actually got the detail there from one side to the other. We're looking at a 7-inch pass. All right, so they're made to go on a 7x5 card, which is quite a standard card size. And I know you guys over in the States use that as a card size as well. So they were designed with that in mind.
We were discussing yesterday why 5x7 is such a popular size, Jan, and it transpires that it's the largest sized envelope you can send without spending extra on postage.
Right.
So maybe that's got something to do with it.
I should have known that, actually. My husband used to work for the Royal Mail. I should have known that, yeah.
There you are, so now we know. Right, what one would you like to have a look at next then, Jan?
Right, we're going to go on to that Christmas Eve scene this time. So again, you've got 3 beautiful layers to go with this. We've got the background layers, we've got those gorgeous houses with the fir trees, and we're going to put it together in a slightly different way. Now, I've shown you that original concept, and again, you've got those instructions in there to do that concept that we did at the beginning of the show, but I wanted to try and show you some other ways to use them as well. So in this particular one, you've got that lovely, I think these houses are beautiful at the front there. And then we've got 2 smaller houses to give you some perspective as if these are on the hill in the background there. And then we've got sets of the trees, which are going to go behind and into the background again. And then of course, you've got that lovely Santa's sleigh and reindeer there that's flying across the top of the sky.
And that's like a bonus die in this one, isn't it? It is,
yeah. I'm not actually going to use it on this particular card. You don't have to use everything. I just wanted the snowy scene. But if you're doing the nighttime scene where you can have this, and I think this would translate into so many different designs as well, not just with the edgeables. It's a nice little individual die, standalone one that you could use on lots of things. You know, you might just want to pop that on one of those lovely background papers with just a sentiment and the reindeer in the sleigh flying over the top, maybe a moon or something like that would look really nice. So again, you know, you can use those on their own. They don't have to all be used together. So we're going to cut these out. Now, I'm not going to cut them again because you saw me do that at the top of the show, but basically it asks you to cut your card into the 7x5 pieces and then pop these on and pass them through your machine to cut them out. And remember what I said at the top of the show is that there's no cutting edge along the bottom of the die here, so it's going to stay attached to your piece of paper. And then what I've done with these this time is I've cut them and I've started to add some colour. So the background one we've got here. Now then, this is a mix and match one. I've used one from a different set there.
Ooh.
I'm just looking there. I've got a different one in there. This is from the...
Goes to show you that you can mix these up if you want, can't you?
In the snowy day scene. In fact, that's the one I should be using, Jan. That's why I didn't use it. Do you know, I've got the wrong one out, which is why I wasn't using the...
That's all right, no
the
bother.
Reindeer, this is where we're heading, and I'm looking at it thinking, why is that different? So this is what we're actually aiming for. So it's the snowy day, it's not the Christmas Eve one.
It's a snowy day.
So I actually need my dies out of this one, okay?
I bet it gets confusing when they go back in the wrong packet, Jan.
Oh, honestly, they give me a fortnight off and that's it, Joe, I've gone to pieces. Right.
Just shows us that you're not a crafty robot. Some people think we pop your batteries out and put you backstage and then we just wheel you in, pop your batteries back in. Jan's as human as the rest of us.
That's why we've got the one with the little cottage on. It's there, look. I thought that doesn't match that at all. So again, you see there, I've just used some white card. This is actually being put across the top and cut, and then I've just added some ink. So our water reactive inks. Okay, we've got the grasshopper and a little bit of sandstone there. The thing
is with that, Jan, before you put the other trees in, I mean, that could be a beautiful villa in Tuscany, couldn't it? Before you put the others in, I mean, I think you're definitely going to use these to embellish other projects all year round.
It could just be that layer like that on the front of a piece of card and you could have a new home.
Yeah, perfect.
Somebody that's moving house, if they're living in the countryside, something like that. As I say, they can be used individually. You don't have to build them up in the layers. So that was the first one that we've done there. And then we've got the children playing here with the snowman, which is the second one. So let's just take that one off and show you that one. So you can see there, it's literally just cut all the detail out and this is what you're left with. And I've just used a little bit of the Misty Morning ink on that one just to highlight the edges there. And this is actually watercolour card that I've used on this one. So again, the first one was stamping card. This one's watercolour card, just to show you some of the different things you can use. And then the last layer there, we've got the 2 fir trees again and the little Diddy snowman. You can just see him on the edge there. Absolutely gorgeous.
It'll soon be Christmas, you know, Jan.
Oh, somebody put
126 sleeps till Christmas.
Do you know, I knew you'd know the answer to that, Joe. Somebody had put on the other day, I saw on social media, somebody had put on that it was so many days to the leaves falling for autumn or fall, and then it was so many days to the snow coming, which was winter, and then it was so many days to Christmas, and I'm like, can't believe that that's so few. So few, honestly.
I am in that sort of, I don't know about you, Jan, but I'm in that sort of morning summer stage at the moment. As in, like, not in the morning, as in I'm in morning for it. Because I love summer so much, and we get to August and then I'm like, oh.
You see, I quite like autumn.
Do you?
I think you get a little bit of both in autumn.
Right.
You get some really nice days, but I love that sort of crisp. I love when the leaves start falling. There's all that crunching going on, yeah. So you can see how they line up there. You've got those 3 layers there. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to pop these onto a stepper card. So I've got my original 7x5 inch card. If I pop this up here, we've got 7 inches across the top here by 5 inches. And then I've had a third piece that measures 7x5, and I've scored it to create the steps. Now what I've done is just flipped it over so that you guys can actually see where I've scored. So the first score line's at 1 3/4 inches. Then I've scored again at 1 1/2 inches. So these two are the same width here to make the little front step. And then I've scored again at 3 inches, and then at 4 1/2 inches. So these are going to make the second. You can see the 2 steps there. And then I've left whatever I had left over, I've just snipped to go and stick onto the back. So this is underneath the front edge of the card, so that when we actually fold this up, you've got those little series of steps that you can see there. Okay, and then I've just taken a piece of backing paper with the gold mirror card behind it. All right, and I'm going to stick that one down onto the background of the card.
Yeah, don't look now, but Tracy's just going in the cupboard. So just if we could just stay on the overhead shot for a moment. Bless her. She's that rummaging around. She looked like Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs coming in there.
Oh dear. So I'm just going to pop that one on essentially what is the front of the card there. And then I'm going to stick this piece onto the actual card base.
Say hi,
so
Tracy.
This one's going to go fine. She's down there, bless her. There she is. Trying her best not to be seen, bless her.
Oh.
You knew you weren't going to get away with that, Tracy, didn't you?
No tea for me this afternoon.
Bless. So again, a little bit of the dotty just on the back of there. And I'm actually going to fasten this one onto the back of the card there. All right. So this is going to stick onto that background. So we've created sort of that snowy scene behind there. All right. And then the second layer, which was the children playing, I'm going to stick into that first sort of step. So you can see where I've got it at the edge there. This was the first bit here. And then it returns, and I'm going to stick that one to here. So I'm actually going to put my glue on here so that I don't get too much of it on the back of the die cut. So that one's going to go on there. And then I'm just going to slot this one into that score line there.
Now, I guess if you are fairly new to crafting, Jan, if you wanted to, there's nothing just to stop you cutting these 3 panels and literally just sticking them together flat, one-dimensional, popping them on the front of a 5x7 tent fold card, and you've got a great, easy card good to go. I think sometimes, especially when people are new to crafting, because we do show you as many concepts as we can, you think, oh, maybe I can't use them in more simplistic ways. Absolutely you can. And the great thing is that so much of the detail is in the die. So even if you did just stick these down flat, I think you're going to have something awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess even on a scrapbook page, you could lay these next to each other side by side and use them as a border along the bottom of your craft as well.
So this last piece, I'm going to bring along the front step, and I'm just going to line it up with the bottom edge of the card there and stick that one down. So we've literally got our stepper card with those layers attached to it. So you can see now when I stand it up, you've got those layers. Let me just crease that one in with the bone folder. There we go, look, you can see that design coming together there. So literally all I'm going to do with that now then is add a sentiment, and I'm just going to pop, seeing as it's a snowy scene, we're going to have a Let It Snow at the front there. So again, little bit of adhesive at the front, and then I've just cut out of some scrap mirror card just a few little snowflakes just to decorate. So again, I'm just going to pop these on with a little bit of wet glue there in the centre. I think I need to refill. I think that's partly what's going on here.
Well, we've got some great glue deals on the show if you need to get yourself stocked up, Jan, that's all I'm saying.
Definitely looks as if it needs filling up there. Come on.
Liz says,
There we go.
Joe, can you please tell us more about the Crafters TV second anniversary celebration yet? Seen the trailer ads on Facebook and curiosity is well and truly piqued. All I can tell you is you need to clear your diary for Thursday. Clear it. Seeing friends and family, cancel it. Got an appointment at the chiropodist, cancel it. Going for a spray tan, cancel it. You need to be here all day on Thursday. That's all I can say.
That's a proper tease, isn't it? Even I don't know what's going off totally yet.
No, I mean...
They're keeping it secret,
I
aren't
do.
they?
I kind of do. I've been hearing, hushed conversation,
Yeah?
gossiping, chitter chatter, hushed in the corridors. So I feel like I've got my ear to the ground, mostly to the wall with a glass jam. But I'll share a little bit more as I go through the day.
That's what you were doing earlier. I did wonder. So there you go. You can see, if I turn it sideways, you can see that series of steps. And we've just used the 3 pieces on the steps rather than putting them all onto one part of the card. So that's another different way that you can use those 3 different layers there.
Beautiful.
So that's the snowy day, that one.
Really,
When we got the right dye out.
really, really beautiful it is. So many of you chatting away. I love this from Karen Albright. She says, just turned on the big TV to watch. My husband walked through. Usually he says, love, 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 in his closest approximation of an English accent. But today he said, oh, Joe and Jan are on. That's great. Oh. So there you go, an improvement there.
There we go.
Pam has got her hands on her wobblers. She says she's looking forward to playing with them later today. Gilmore says, is Jan going rogue? I think she might be. Karen also says, my 2 favourites, Joe and Jan.
Aww.
That's really lovely. Liz says, hello there, great to see Jan back. She is the most favourite of all my favourite demonstrators.
Oh, bless.
I think Liz might have more than one favourite by the sound of it, but I think you're her favouriteest favourite. Shadai saying, just mesmerised watching all the new launches. Karen says, brilliant, thanks for the size info, Jan. I work for Royal Mail. Jill says, I used to work for Royal Mail, but half the people watching might not have been born back then, is what she says.
Oh,
so
well,
there
my
we
husband's
are.
retired now. He worked for them for 24 years.
Wowzers.
So yes, fair stint he did.
Stephanie says, I've ordered a few things. My granddaughter really enjoyed a little crafting together and loves embossing folders. I explained the gilding wax, which she loves, so I've ordered her a mega bundle of the waxes. Kathy's not ready for Christmas. Kathy, I won't be ready for Christmas on the 19th of December, so the fact you're not ready now, do not sweat it. Shadaya says, I'm not familiar with this person, but Jan, I really love your hair. Your cut reminds me of Angelica Houston.
Oh.
I don't know who Angelica Houston is.
To be honest, it wants cutting.
I like it this length.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's getting out of control because it's quite thick. Yeah, it's getting ready for cutting.
Mine is it was thick, Jan. And it's
was?
thick everywhere apart from here now.
Oh.
Not thick here anymore. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to need to... I reckon if I get some sort of cosmic shimmer product in there or something, it might sort of boost it out a little bit. They
Fill
must
it
do
in with
something.
a little bit of polish for you.
Yeah, I could get a little bit of a tri-blend in the corners there when it starts to go a little bit, Yeah, I'm sure we'll work it out. I'll just have a bit of a comb over next time I come in. Right, let me share with you these 4 different die sets that we've got in here. I told you I was in a Friday feeling kind of mood, special edition holiday special. So the Bethlehem scene is the first one that you're going to receive in here. Again, think about splitting them up. We did talk about this as we went. And actually, Jan, do you know what? If you split them up, I bet you could use that one, maybe next to that one, and then have those 2 down together. You talked about flipping them over as well, didn't you? So you can have them the other way around if you want, which is great.
It's sort of, the die cuts look different from the back because obviously when you die cut something, it almost like bevels the edge. But all you need to do is take your bone folder and just go round the edge where it's actually beveled it and it will flatten it out again. So when you flip it over, it doesn't look as if it's back to front.
Brilliant, great tip there. So you've got the Bethlehem scene. You also have the Christmas Eve scene as well. Nice that you get that big statement Santa and sleigh in there. These 2, remember, no plans to make these available on HSN or anywhere in the US. So if you are a US customer, this is your only opportunity to get your hands on these, and that is your snow day scene and also your Christmas morning scene as well. All available individually, also available on 2 for £30 or $36. I think I can see not just full baskets, I can see bulging baskets across. Honestly, bulging baskets on the website. So I know you don't want to miss any of Jan's demonstrations, so why don't we give you an opportunity to check yourself out. Whilst you do that, let me share with you all the details of how to shop and Club Inspire.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can get the best deals and shop while you watch during our shows. The best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. So head over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV Home, where you can see all of our shows, plus exclusive offers, and even shop while you watch. Now, if you want to get involved and comment along, you can head on over to our community pages. Come say hello, ask us some questions and chat along live with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even airplay our shows direct onto your big screen or stream us live through YouTube. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easy to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
All the details there of Club Inspire. Gilmore's, who is it, said, no, Karen says maybe some pixie sparkles would look good in the hair. It's Manchester Pride next weekend, Jan, so we'll be celebrating Pride. Got to have all the sequin outfits on.
I'm expecting all the bling.
I've got a massive bag of Creative Expressions glitter.
Yep.
The biodegradable one that goes on your face, and the special adhesive. So I'm thinking there may be a glitter beard.
Yep.
There'll be glitter eyes. I'll have glitter everywhere by the time we get to Bank Holiday Monday. Right, let me share with you again those storage folders that we've got available on the show for you. So these are excellent. I know a lot of you already own these and absolutely love them. They are a great way to store your dies, of course. They are essentially a 3-ring binder. So if you've got other things that have a 3-ring binder on them as well, I know some of our Totally Tiffany products have this 3-ring system, they would be able to go in here as well. Also, what I would say is the magnetic panels can go into some of your Tiffany items as well. And it is really the perfect way to store your dies. It's going to keep them all beautifully pristine in there. And the thing is with them, as long as you look after them, your dies really are going to last your lifetime, which is fantastic. So you've got those in there, which is brilliant. Really beautiful quality. They're going to take a lot of weight, so they are really well designed and beautiful quality. So you can get it in the A4 size. You'll get 6 sheets of the magnetics, which is 2 packs, or you can go for it as well in the A5 size, which are these ones just here, which is fantastic. So you've got the option, you choose. You are getting a bonus pack of magnetic panels in there. You normally only get 1 pack. We're giving you 2 in this particular deal. Now, Jan was telling me how she's run out of tacky glue. Well, I've got you covered, Jan, don't you worry, because we've got some adhesives on the show for you. So I've got a duo available on the tacky glue, which is this one just here. What is it about tacky glue that you like? Because I notice you use it quite a lot, Jan, don't you?
I do use it a lot. It's a really terrific glue, and it's a very strong one, Joe. It's a water-based glue, and it gets its name. The best way to use it is to actually pop it onto your surface and leave it for about 30 seconds or so before you actually stick it. Now, we don't often get that luxury here when we're demoing. We're in a time window, but at home, leave it on the back of your whatever it is you're sticking, whether it's a die cut or a piece of paper or whatever, and it goes tacky, which is where it gets its name from, and then you'll get that instant stick with it. There's a little tiny bit of wiggle room, but you will get that sort of stick and it'll stay put. The only thing that I don't use my tacky glue is when I'm matting and layering, Joe, with it being being a water-based glue, you will sometimes get that wrinkling in the paper, and that's hard to get rid of once it's done. That's where I would go to the solvent one, which is coming up
in just a second. We've got the tape pens as well. Glue bogies, be gone with these, Jan. I don't call them glue bogies, some of you do, but these are for all of your detailed die cuts, so it means you're going to get that glue just where you want it, which is awesome. It's on a duo there for you as well, £8.98 or £12.51. And we've also got a 4-pack of the all-purpose, which is our other sort of hero adhesive, isn't it, Jan?
It is. This one's solvent based, so it's the exact opposite of the tacky glue, and this one's great for matting and layering because it's solvent based. It doesn't wrinkle the paper. It's the water content in the PVA glue that does the wrinkling. So because this is solvent based, it's got a slight odour to it, but it's nothing horrible, I don't think. I'm one of those weird people that doesn't mind the smell. But yeah, great for matting and layering, and it dries rock solid. So if you're making construction items, or if you like to make gift bags and things like that, I tend to use the Kalal in the bases when I'm making boxes and that, so that it gives it extra rigidity, so that if you put in a gift in it, you're not going to worry about it falling all the way through.
It almost sort of comes like a resin layer, doesn't it, as it dries? Like it gives you extra, really extra sort of rigidity to your project. Make sure you grab that £8.97 or £11.85 to get 4 of those, which is brilliant. Anne says, ask John for a tea, Joe. Oh, well, John came in yesterday in all of his biking gear. He was going to come on air and show you, but we weren't on air at the time, honestly. Full head to toe in his leathers, had his helmet on, his big walkie-talkie thing and everything. I should have got a picture for you all. Never mind. Sandra says this version seems more my level of crafting. Clarice says she is really excited for everything in the show. Valerie says, oh, I like these. Cheryl, not Cheryl. I've been calling Cheryl for about 6 months, and we finally worked out yesterday her name is Cheryl and not Cheryl. She says that's beautiful. Karen says you're getting very craft savvy, Joe. Why, thank you, Karen. Karen says, Joe, you should start doing some crafting. You have some great ideas. Occasionally, some hits, quite a few misses when it comes to the idea. Karen says, shoot, I work Thursday. You'll be able to watch the shows back, Karen. We've always got you covered. There's Suzette's also working on Thursday. Maybe you could work from home, might work. And Eve B says, I do love a good secret. Right, Jan, I know you've got loads more you want to squeeze in. Still a whole hour of crafting still to come on this launch. Very, very busy on everything, especially the whole collection at the moment. Remember, with that big collection, you are going to get the tape pen included in there as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Is your dotty one, which is brilliant. Which one are you going to shine your crafty light on next, Jan?
We're actually going to go back to the Christmas Eve scene this time. I'd got them mixed up earlier, but yeah, this is the one that we started looking at with the reindeer in the sleigh, pulling the sleigh, but we're actually going to use this one. And I was right, I hadn't used those in the design. This time I'm going to show you how to make that sort of domed effect. So again, you can see the layers in the background there, but then the front one we've made bigger to actually create that shaping. If I show it you from the bottom, you can see that we've got that lovely domed effect on the front there. And again, it will fold flat, so that when you actually post it, it just makes it slightly wider than the 7 inches. All right, so we're going to have a go at that one. So this time, we'll do some cutting again, I think this time. I've got some pieces at the ready, and I've gone back to the tent style card. All right, so we're going to start off with that as a base, and that's the 7x5 again. They all sort of work around that 7x5 size. It's perfect sort of background size for them. And then I've actually got a matten layer that we're going to pop on the front of there, which is just that 1/4 inch less on the increment for those. So that's going to be the background piece. And then I've got some pieces of stamping card again that we can cut a couple of these layers out just to show you how they work. So if you weren't watching at the top of the show, you can see how these go. So we've got the trees in the background. We've got a couple of houses on the hill. Make sure that they're not falling down the hill.
Every time you say it, I want to burst into high on a hill with a lonely goat herd, yodelay, yodelay, yodelay.
Yeah, just making sure that they weren't falling down the hill. So make sure your houses are straight and you'll get the right angle for the rest of it there. And then the front one, I'm actually going to do on a little bit wider piece, and I'll explain that bit in a second. So let's get these cut out this time. So I'm going to bring my cutting plate in there so that I can fit both of these on at the same time. And we'll take a little bit of tape. Again, I would recommend taping them down. If you don't use our tape, I know some people like to use washi tape and things like that. Whatever it is you've got, I would recommend popping them in place.
Susie T says, John in bike gear, oh my, Rhonda would have had a heart attack, is what she says. Leonor says, Joe, you've let us down. How can you miss showing us John in his biker gear?
I know.
Shakes head in disgust, it says in the brackets. One day, ladies, one day.
You've started something now,
Really
Joe,
have.
honestly. Right, so I'm just putting my normal layers in. So I've got my plastic shim and my magnetic shim just to build up the right depth, and then that top plate on there. So we'll pass those two through first. And then the third one, I've actually got a longer piece of card. This actually measures the full length of our A4 card, which is just under 11 3/4 inches. Here in the UK. I know they're slightly different sizes in the US, but as long as you've got some pieces that will tuck around the edge, I've just scored it slightly at each side. I've still got the 7-inch piece in the middle, which is going to be the bit where the die's fitting in the centre here. So just, in fact, I think it's 8 inches in the middle there. And then what's left over is going to wrap around to create that effect there. So let's have a little look and show you what I mean. So we're going to pop this one on and cut that one as well. So I'm just going to position that one in the centre there and just eyeball that I've got about the same distance at either side, and then we'll pass that one through the machine and we'll take these two back out of the way there. And again, you know, however you want to colour them, you can actually use your alcohol markers on them. You can actually cut out from scrap pieces of coloured card and overlay them over the top. You might want to use watercolour products. You might want to use your inks, whatever it is you fancy using to actually create that little bit of colour on the top of them there. So we'll just get that third one cut out.
Jan, is the manger on the scene embossed? Should you use the embossing mat, or did you colour through the die with a stencil? Great question. On the Bethlehem one, would you emboss it, or would you ink through the die? Or that's good.
I would actually go through the die. Yeah, you can emboss it with the embossing mat, absolutely fine. But I think probably to go through the die would give you the best kind of effect on it. Take my tape off.
Tracy's here with a tea. What a superstar. I obviously didn't, she's not that angry with me after all, it turns out, because she makes the best tea, by the way, the best tea.
So we're going to pop that one off there, thank you. And you can see what I mean by the edgeable now. This is a really good example because it's taken that top edge and cut it all the way through. A couple of little pieces there just to pop out. And then you've got the rest of it where it's just gone to the sides there. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to take the larger scissors and I'm just going to snip from this outside edge up to where that die stops there. And then I'm going to do the same at this side. So just eyeballing where it stops and cutting up to get rid of that cut edge that we've actually cut off, and that's the scrap piece. So we don't need that one. And you can see there that we've got that detail that is actually slightly longer than the rest of it. So just by actually wrapping this around now, you can see that because it's longer, it's creating that bow effect. Yeah?
Beautiful.
So what we've got then is the one with the trees on. So let me just make sure I don't throw my die in the bin there.
Oh, don't do that.
It'll not be the first time.
Have you had to go for a rummage in the big bin outside before?
Not the big one, no, because I've got a bin in my craft room. But there has been occasion where things have fallen in there and I've had to have a rummage, yes. But we had you and I were on when we were talking about bin diving, I think, weren't we? Somebody had lost something in the bin. Right. I can't remember what it was. Was it you that was on with me?
Was it sunglasses or keys of mine?
Something like that. And they were all, everybody...
There's a sunglasses story, there's a keys story as well.
Yeah, they were all our customers were commenting about all the bin diving episodes they've had. So you can see where that one's actually cut the edge. And then if I bring this one in, I've just used that ink on it again, just to highlight the trees. And you can just see how it makes the difference, adding that little bit of colour onto there. So that's that one. And then we've got the little houses there, which are going to be my second layer. So again, just take the tape off there and get rid of the die. Get rid of that one. And you can see again, we've got those gorgeous little houses. And again, just by adding a bit of colour to them, it brings it all to life. So these are now going to layer up nicely like so.
Sarah's Creation, oh no, Linda Charles says, I'm a cyclist, I was thinking John in Lycra. And Sarah's Creations then says, thanks for that, Linda, that's now stuck in my head.
Poor John.
Honestly, you guys. And Crafty AJ says, with like musical likes, high on a hill lived a holy goat. I don't think that's the lyrics. I think it's high on a hill lives a lonely goat herd,
yes.
Not a holy goat. That's a whole. We could do a parody though, couldn't we, Jan?
The Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to bring in one just by adding colour and just look how much difference it makes there. You can see there, just adding the colour to it. And this one, I've actually coloured the background and then I've laid this back over the top. So let me just get the...
Is that acetate or the pattern paper in the background?
That's the pattern paper in the background.
I love it.
Yeah, but this one, I've coloured the background just lightly with the ink, but then I've put the dye back over it and I've coloured through the dye, which gives you that sort of variegation.
Looks like a layering stamp, isn't it?
It does, doesn't it? It looks as if there's more than one layer there, but it is all flat. All right, so that's where we're heading with it. And then to put it together, we simply need to add that matten layer. In fact, I'm going to pop them onto the matten layer first. So this one's going to go on here.
Oh, it
and
does
if
look like
it
you
is
could go
slightly wider, I'm just going to sort of let it stick out each side because I've made these the same width as the card.
Okey-doke.
So I'm just going to pop it either side.
Just
there.
that one on its own is quite fabulous. It looks like you go skiing, doesn't it, there? It's
Honestly,
awesome.
and again, you know, just something like that with your sentiment in the middle, you might want to keep it nice and clean and simple. You know, if you were making Christmas cards, just that one layer in the background just adds that bit of something. You could maybe emboss this piece, pop it inside an embossing folder. So many different ideas. I always say when we come here and bring them to TV for you, obviously we have a time frame, but when you've actually got time to sit and play with these at home, there's so many different styles that you could actually do with them. Really is. I could do probably a whole day on different ways of using them. Not that I'm suggesting that. I hope nobody was listening.
It would be very good for maybe a bit boring for the customers. A whole day of one product.
Maybe, yeah. So again, I'm going to pop this one on here. And if you want to raise them up, you can put some foam pads in, but I'm just going to keep these two layers flat. And then my little dotty tape pen just on the back of the houses there. And this one's going to line up here with this one. So again, I'm just going to pop it to that bottom edge and line that one up. So that's going to be my background that sits onto the front of the card base there.
Oh, I like that, Jan.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that
Now,
idea.
because this one's longer, this is going to fit around here, and I want to trap these in the back before I stick it on to the front of the card. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put some glue on the back of that flap that I've created there, that little glue tab. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this score line that I've made at this edge, and I'm going to wrap it level with the bottom, but wrap it round the back of that matten layer onto the background there. And you'll see that where my score line is here, I'm about sort of 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch longer. So by actually pushing this to the edge again is what's making it bow in the centre because it's bigger. So that's all you need to do is just make it that little bit longer. And again, I'm going to pop. In fact, we don't actually need as much as that. I've just left the length of the card. So I'm just going to cut that glue tab down a little bit. Pop my adhesive just on the back of the glue tab that we've left there. And then instead of folding it flat, you're going to push it until that score line meets the edge of the card again there, and then wrap it around the back.
Sarah's Creation says, oh, you could use a sled from the watercolour collection on the hill there if you wanted to.
You
Great
could,
idea.
Absolutely, yep. And then all I'm going to do is pop some adhesive. In fact, I'll use some wet glue because we've got that bow on the front now. And again, you can see me flicking and changing through the glues. My husband laughs at me. He's like, how many different glues can one person need? But they all do something different.
I need to tell you, I am not a crafter. I have a tape pen, I have 3D glue gel, tacky glue and all-purpose glue at home. Because when someone comes round and, you know, you know, they need to stick their acrylic nail back on, or you know, you've got a parcel. Because the thing is, you
Just
never
don't
have
offer
tape.
them the hot glue gun.
No, I don't have them. I can't be trusted with a hot glue gun, Jan. Seriously. But always, you know, when you get like, I use the all-purpose. You know when you have a returns label and you think, how am I going to stick that on that box?
Yeah.
You just put a bit of glue on the back and stick it on.
Yep.
Jobs are good.
Honestly, this one, the all-purpose is pretty much, it says it on the tin, you know, it is all-purpose. The only things that I wouldn't use that for is things like Miricard that's got a surface on it, so a shiny surface. Because it's solvent-based, if you get it on the front of your card, it will actually damage the surface on it. So just be careful with anything like that that's a coated card stock. But other than that, it sticks all sorts of things, and not just paper either. There's a list of things on the bottle that it'll stick together. So I've just held that down until that's in place, and again I've got a nice little sentiment that we'll pop along the front there. In fact, no, we'll pop it up there. I think we'll just have it on. I'll put a little bit of glue on the bottom there, and we'll have that one round there. And then I have got a little bit of ribbon that I'm just going to go around. I'm going to tie this side first and just pop a knot in here. Okay. And then trim that down. So this is actually going to be my fastening rather than trying to stick it around.
There's a lot of people that are watching us and HSN at the same time. And currently, as we speak, you and Sarah are demonstrating the same product in 2 different countries.
Wow!
There you go. Someone just, Evelyn's just letting you know.
That's clever stuff, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah. And they're the only other side of the wall there as well.
That is crazy. The joys of social media, the internet, eh?
Absolutely. Pam E says, hi Jan, welcome back. Hi again, Joe from Central New York. Oh, I'd love to be on holiday in New York at the moment. That'd be nice.
So I'm just going to pop, whoops, that way I've cut, haven't I? I'm just going to pop this around here, and then I've popped a little bit of glue on the inside. Again, I probably would have been better doing this before I stuck it together, but you know, me and ribbon, I get too giddy about putting things together and forget to put the ribbons on. But just to give it a little bit of detail there at the front. So when we get all that together, we'll just re-burnish that top fold there. You can see we've got a nice card that stands there. All right, but then if I tip it forward, you can see that we've got that lovely.
Nice.
I just squished it a little bit with my ribbon there, but you've got that bow front on the front of it there. So again, different way of using them. There's no reason why you couldn't have used foam pads again between the background layers. I chose to stick them flat on the card just for demonstration purposes, but you could put foam pads behind them. If you really wanted some dimension, we don't actually sell it, I don't think, on our website. I buy mine from one of the local craft shops. You can buy the very thin foam. It's usually in the kiddies section, the children's section, and it's just like A4 sheets of foam. If you actually use your dies and cut the foam out, you get a complete piece that's exactly the same shape as your die cut that you can stick behind it then to raise it so you don't get it wobbling. So that's another way of dealing with it again.
Is it like a funky foam?
That's the stuff, yeah. It comes in all different colours so you can blend it in with whatever you're working in, but your dies will actually cut through that in the Gemini. All right, so it's a great way of actually building dimension up and keeping the surface nice and flat.
Very busy. Another beautiful guys. It'd be very hard to pick a demo of the show today. Let me just share with you then again exactly what you're going to get included in here. So there's all the designs for you. Let me show you them individually as well. Because you've got 4 different collections in here, so 4 clear distinct ones. So you've got the Bethlehem scene, which is that one just there. You've then got this one, which is your Christmas Eve scene. I love that. This one here is your Snow Day scene, so that one exclusive. If you are in the US, you will not be able to get that on HSN, nor that one, which is a Christmas morning scene there as well. So make sure you grab all those. It was magic, wasn't it? You see that? It's absolutely magic. You think we didn't get them in or pass them out? It's because Sarah's got them now over there. So I'll show you a little video of them. Shattering the illusion. Do you know what they call that, Jan, in the trade? Breaking the 4th wall. Oh. Apparently, yeah. We just smashed it, shattered it, we did. Right. I'm in a very strange mood today, I apologise. It's day 5, Jan. That's what it is. It's day 5.
Day
Right.
5 and last day.
Let me share with you. It's Fake Friday, the holiday edition, day 5. So what you've got here again, I really love how these come together. Really love how simple that mechanism there is there on the side of these too, which is absolutely awesome. Let me share this one with you. Love this one here. How gorgeous is that? Really, really stunning. Some paper piecing as well been done there. Lots of aperture on these as well, so you absolutely can put matte layers behind them. Think about actually maybe drop shadowing the die cuts as well to create a different look, especially on something like the Bethlehem scene. This one, Jan, have you seen this one? So clever. So just a little one on the front, just like a little, what are we going to call that? A trifold card, is that? Or yeah. And someone just put a little stay on that one there as well, which I thought was quite clever.
And again, I can see on that one as well, Joe, what we're talking about using your embossing folders. So that's created like the sand dunes on there.
Yeah, which it looks like a sort of wood grain embossing folder, doesn't it?
I think that's from, if I had to guess, I would say it's from our nautical collection.
Oh, okay.
It was the Waves. It was a 5x7 embossing folder in the signature collection, the nautical, would be my guess. Maybe wrong.
You can really see that stables there on that one as well, can't you? How it's been, I'm guessing has it been embossed? Yeah, embossed and then just inked, which is lovely. Really, really beautiful designs. You have so much fun. Looks like another layer,
doesn't it?
Sorry?
It looks like another layer in front of it.
Yeah, it really does. It's very, very clever.
And just that little black shadow behind it makes a difference, doesn't it?
And I think this, am I right in thinking that this actually is the back layer in the way it's designed? Or is that the middle layer?
No, I think that's the middle one.
That's the middle layer, and that's how it's intended. There's nothing to stop you having that as the back layer in the other one.
No, you can swap them round.
Switching them out, have you know this back layer on the other side, and then the middle panel there. Have the kings coming in from the other side. There's so many different ways that you can do it. And the great thing is that within each set of these, you are getting 3 edgeable dies. So really play around with that configuration as well. Susan says, Joe looks really skinny today. Honestly, you guys, what is it with the compliments today? I mean, you're sending me off on holiday in style.
What they see, Joe.
Honestly, honestly, I'll come in, I'll expect my own dressing room next time I'm here.
Big star on the door.
Yeah, I won't be talking to it. No, I'm joking. Karen says, oh, this is a good question actually from Karen. Any suggestions for sharpening a guillotine blade?
Aluminium foil.
Wonderful.
Yep, so if you just get some kitchen foil, aluminum foil, and fold it into 2 or 3 layers, and then cut that with your guillotine, it should self-sharpen the blade for you.
I mean, the concept of being skinny is a new one for me, so I am lapping that up, Susan, thank you. But thanks for that tip as well, Jan. Anne's ordered the snowman. She just can't seem to resist snowmen at the minute. There you go. I mean, the snowmen are choosing you, it sounds like. What kind of glue would you use to stick that children's foam onto something like paper?
Tacky glue again.
Tacky glue.
Yeah,
awesome.
pop it on the back of it, leave it for 30 seconds or so for it to go tacky. And when you feel it, you'll feel the sticky in it. And again, that'll stick to your cardstock perfectly fine.
Absolutely awesome. Make sure you grab that. Right, $52.99, $69.95. Don't forget platinum price there as well, $42.39 or $55.96, and they are on a 2 for £30 or $36. So make sure you grab them. Right, next up. Paper pads. We got the gnome. I am a gnome and I live in a home. $11.99 or $15.96 if you want to go for that one. Gosh, goodness knows. Goodness knows what 7's going to be like. I'm this giddy already. You've got your printed papers here from the gnomes. E.T. phone gnome. $10.39 or $12.76 if you want to go for that one. Oh, gnome. We've also got the the vellum and the acetate there as well, if you want to go for that one. We've got some Twas the Night Before Christmas. Got a beautiful pearlescent card. Oh, no. It is limited stock. You will need to be quick for that one if you want to get your hands on it. $11.99 or $15.96. And we've got the 6x6 paper pad available as well. The 12x12 is gone. This is your last opportunity to get a Twas the Night paper pad. How about a Gemini Junior die cutting machine? If you don't have one, maybe you've got a manual machine you want to upgrade to an electric. Today could be the day at $111.99 or $159.96 if you want to get your hands on that one. So Wendy says you could use a snowman from last year's pop-up boxers backgrounds. Absolutely. That design looks like crinkle chips. What am I like, says Shadiah. I don't know. Beth's in. Gorge. Hello to the gorgeous Jan, the handsome sexy Joe. Fantastic Scene Social. All my magnificent crafty friends. Sorry I'm late. I was crying and trying to deal with not seeing Joe for 2 whole weeks. You guys they really are the best, aren't they, our crafty
they
crew,
are,
Jan?
honestly, they do. I don't think they realise how much it actually means.
Oh, it really does.
The interaction and the messaging and the comments, it really does make a difference. It would be a boring old job if there was nobody out there at the other side of the camera, wouldn't it, Joe?
It was. Well, sometimes we had to do, just because of schedule conflicts, sometimes we have to do pre-records, don't we?
I've got
and
one
it just
coming up,
isn't.
yeah.
I mean, we do enjoy doing them, absolutely, because it's nice, lovely doing some crafting. When we don't have the interaction, it really isn't the same.
It's
we
just
really do
flat,
miss you
isn't
guys.
it? Yeah.
It is. It really is a lot of fun. Anyway, right. I guess we better crack on. Are we going to squeeze one more in before we do the demo of the show then, Jan?
Yeah, we're going to do sort of like a combi one, because what I've got is, I actually went along the lines of the tunnel, what I've called a tunnel card. I just realised George was looking then, and I got the back of it, which didn't look very attractive at all like this, did it? But if you look, it's sort of a cross between a diorama and a tunnel, and it's made using those little zigzag pieces at the side, which I'm going to show you how to make. So again, it all folds down nicely. You've just got the bulk of those side pieces. And this was using the Christmas Morning, which is the set that we haven't used. Now I'm going to skip to the next demo, because that actually, although we're repeating the Bethlehem scene, it shows you this mechanism, how to make the tunnel card, but I've done a bit extra with that as well. So I thought we'd do that one and show you the whole thing in its entirety. So you could either stop here, or the one that I'm going to show you has actually got a front cover on it, so it opens up like a book as well. So apologies for using the same die twice, but you could just as easily do it with any of them. I wanted to try and show you ideas for design. You can mix and match and use whichever of your die sets you wish to use. It's not just you have to use that for this style and you have to use the snowmen for the other style. So I'm going to leave that one out, but I've gone back to the black cardstock again, and we're going to go back to that Bethlehem scene. We're going to use a little bit of gilding wax with this one, similar to what Craig did this morning, but a slightly different design. So again, we've done a fair bit of die cutting already. So I've taken some black cardstock, just the matte black card, and I'll show you the pieces that we've cut. So the background layer is the one with the palm trees. So just for the benefit of any of you guys that are joining in later on in the show, our edgeables consist of a piece of metal that is actually, let me just take off the tape from earlier and just see it poking out of the edge there. They consist of a piece that's got a cutting edge along here, all the way up round the detail on the die and to the other end. But the bit in the middle along here has got no cutting edge. So it means that it's going to stay attached to your card. So I just need to make sure that I've got all those little pieces out from what we were doing earlier. So I'm just going to pop those out. In fact, I've got them die cut, so I don't need to worry too much about that. But you can see where this one's been on the top of my piece here. Okay, and fits perfectly on the edge. Now I've extended these pieces slightly. They are slightly longer than the 7. All right, so we're actually looking now at the full 8 1/4 inch length, which is the width of our A4. You guys in the States, I know yours is 8 1/2, so the 8 1/2 inches would work just the same. You'd just have a little bit extra at the sides, that's all. So you just need to be aware of that when you are making the overall card, or you can trim it down that 1/4 inch to the 8 1/4. So that's the layer for the background. And again, we're going to bring in some gilding wax in a second and just highlight the tops of these. A little bit similar to what our Craig did this morning. And then layer number 2 has got that sort of lovely palace on there, which again, if I pop this over the top, you can see how that one fits. And again, just slightly longer this time, because I want to it wants to extend into those little accordion pieces at the side, and I'll show you what I mean as we go along. And then again, you've got that gorgeous area here. And what I'll do is I'll actually ink that up now while we're, let me just see if I can find, in fact,
I know we're not meant to have favourites, but I think this one might be my favourite of the Bethlehem scene.
I must admit, I do like this one.
It's got that sort of Arabian feel to it, which
Yeah.
I do love.
I'm just going to try the pink, just see whether that, I don't know how well it'll show what it is doing, yeah. we're okay. So just literally by using your die as a stencil and popping the ink through there, and you see how it brings up the detail on there, and it's worth that little extra feature there just to give the detail, and it almost looks like another layer. So you've got the background, you've got the second layer, it looks like another little piece that you've put in there. So we've got those two, and then the front piece I've actually started with a piece of cardstock that is the full width, so it's 8 1/4 by 5 3/4.
Oh, I like it cut into the frame like that. Do you know what? You could actually just use that in the front of a photo frame, couldn't you?
Yes.
With a beautiful Christmas photo behind.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. So what a really nice way to sort of show a photograph, yeah. So literally this one's been done with the die. So I've taken the die here and cut it into the cardstock piece. If you imagine this was my piece of card, I've literally just cut it in here. And I know I was watching Craig this morning, he did this. And then once you've got that cut in, take your craft knife and just cut yourself a frame out of the middle with the craft knife. If you're not so good with a craft knife, because it's not my favourite thing, I can use them, but it's not my favourite thing. If you're not so good with a craft knife, just get your ruler and your pencil and measure, forgive me because I'm just going to sketch this in, but measure that 3/4 of an inch.
Well, mine would look like a donkey's back leg if I did that.
Yep.
Job.
Well, you would use a ruler and a pencil, honestly, Joe. I'm just doing it for the purpose of showing you how to do it without the craft knife. All right. So say this was your design here. So let's just pretend we've got some kings and the bit here. Yeah. So we want to cut this piece out here. Yeah. So if you don't like using the craft knife, if you go into the centre of here where you know that it's scrap, and then what I do is cut out to the corner. So cut out to the corner of your frame, and again I'm going to cut to where the die cut would start. I'm going to do the same down to this part here, and then into that corner there, and into that corner. And then you've created yourself plenty of space then to go in with your scissors, and you can actually start and cut along the pencil line. Now this, obviously I've just done this very rough freehand. Yours would be nice and straight because you'd used a ruler and a measure. All right, but you can actually get into the corners there, and again going back this way I can go back to this corner, and you can take out those excess pieces without actually using a craft knife if you don't like it. So again, just taking your scissors into the other edge, and remember that we've already die cut, so this bit would be cut out anyway, and all the way across here would be cut out like this one is here. Yeah, and you're literally just cutting those pieces that are left with the scissors to get that same kind of hit. Now it's very, very rough, as I say, because I did just sketch it in, but you get the idea.
Yeah, that's
there
a great
of how
tip,
to do
that,
it.
Jan.
So that's the way, if you're not, so as I say, I know some people don't like using a craft knife. They are very sharp. I must admit, it's not been the first time I've cut myself with them, but it's a way of doing it. But I've actually done this one just with the ruler and the craft knife there. And the ruler that I've got at home has actually got the measurements on, so I can check that these are all the same width there. So we've got our layers going on there, and then I'm just going to grab some gilding wax there, and in fact I'll use the slightly darker one because I know Craig used the King Gold this morning, so we'll go for one of the darker ones. And I didn't know what Craig's demo was going to be, and when I saw him doing it I thought that looks very similar to one that I've done there. So again, I'm just going to come in from the edge and just highlight some of those edges with the gilding wax, so that when they're sat against each other you're going to see that edge rather than it just be black against black.
The guys in the comments are really making me laugh. Shadai says, Prince Joe, you need to ask us permission before you can take off for so long. I'm very sad about this news. Hannah Hicks says, Shadai, he would never get permission from us for that long. 5 days maximum. I'm glad you guys aren't my line manager. That's all I'll say.
They're harsh, honestly.
Teresa says, Joe, who is filling in? Well, don't fear. George is here. George will be here Friday, Saturday and Sunday, holding the fort for you. And then I think was Monday meant to be my day off as well? I'm not sure. I think Becky's here for some of it as well. So don't worry, there'll be someone here.
Yeah, I know I'm back on Sunday and our George is in on Sunday.
He is indeed.
Yeah.
I finally met George for the first time on Saturday. It was the first time we'd ever met, because obviously we're never in at the same time.
No, of course
But he was in doing the first couple of shows, and then I was in doing the last couple of shows, so we got to say hello to each other for the first time.
There you go, you see.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 done there, and then I'm just going to do a little bit round this last layer. Okay. So again, just bringing it in, and I'm doing this, you have much more time at home. I'm going quite quickly. Again, just to highlight
Are you using the same colour of gilding wax on each piece?
Yeah, you
could you do it with different ones?
I'm just thinking that would look really nice. Yeah, really nice. You could use there's different colour, different shades of gold in the gilding wax range. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, just really all about playing around, isn't it?
There's no right and wrong, and this is what I always say to people, you know, even people that are just starting out with craft, there is no right and wrong. If somebody tells you that you're doing it wrong, then I would argue the fact with them that there isn't a right or wrong. You do it how it suits you, how you like to craft, or you do it according to the person that you're sending, you know, your project to. So if you're making a card for someone, then you might be thinking about what colour schemes they like, what interests they've got, and things like that. You know, if you're making cards to sell, you might just be making things that you like. You know, there's no right or wrong. And it's worth mentioning at that point that on our angel policy on these is that you can make and create as many as you wish to sell. All right, so if you're actually cutting out the dies and making a card with them, you can make as many as you want to. So I know the ladies that do make for the charities and for the forces and things like that, go for it, absolutely fine. So what we're going to do with these then is we're going to start building these up. So we've got the background there, we've got our frame to put on the front there. So I'm going to stick this one down, just again, a piece of paper. This is from the, I forget the name of it. It's the oranges. There's a lovely orange. It's something sunset, Joe.
Right.
I can't remember the name. It's the pearlescent one. It is lovely. And it just lent itself. That's
is it orange sunset?
I think it is.
I didn't think it was orange sunset.
Something like that. No, I think it is the orange sunset. And it's just got a lovely sort of shimmer on it, which went nicely with the gilding wax. Okay. Now then, what I've done then is I've cut 2 separate pieces. So this has nothing to do with the die itself. This is to do with the construction of this particular card. So I've got 2 pieces there that are the same depth as my card, which was 5 3/4 inches. And these measure 4 inches wide. And then I've scored at every 1/2 inch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So I've created, and then I've folded valley mountain, valley mountain, valley mountain, and created that kind of zigzag. You can just see there where it's sort of coming up to the top, back down into the valley, up to the top, back down, to create that zigzag. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these at the sides, and we're actually going to stick these pieces into that little piece where it's created the valley fold, which is why I needed that slightly longer length than the 7 inches that we've been working with, because we're going to tuck a 1/2 inch in each side here and stick it in. All right, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to use that largest edge here to actually stick round the back of my piece of card. So I'm just going to pop these on the edges up to that first score line there. And then we've got these coming round to work with. So we've got those on one side. And then I'm going to do the same with this one.
Reminds me of orange dreamsicles, says Rhonda. I'm not sure what an orange dreamsicle is, but I want one, whatever they are.
It sounds nice, doesn't it? I'm just going to turn it round. I find it easier to work this way. So again, just slotting it in up to the score line there, not over it, just up to the score line so that it still bends around the front. So we've now got this sort of mechanism. If we fold these back in again, you can see there where we've got that mechanism to start and bring. You see how it's zigzagged there? Let me just get there, look, you can see.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we created that sort of tunnel imagery. Now I've just got a little bit poking out there, which is going to annoy me, so I'm just going to trim that bit back. Maybe I didn't stick it straight. And then what we're going to do, we've actually got here now, we've got 2 grooves where the valley folds were and a front edge. So the 2 grooves are going to have these pieces in. So we've got 1 in the first valley fold, and we're going to put 1 in the second valley fold, and then we're going to put the frame on the outside. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense.
Yep. So all I need to do then is pop a little bit of glue down the outside edge. And as I say, that's why I left, if you remember at the beginning, we said that this was the full 8 1/4 inches of our normal UK size card, all right? So if you were working, it might be worth, if you have got the 8 1/2 inch card in the States, it might be worth just trimming it down that 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to line up the bottom edge with the bottom of my cardstock. And I'm again just going to pop it up to that score line and then fold it in there. And again, next one is going into that first valley fold that we made here. So we've got a mountain at the top here, then a valley, and this one's going to go and sit right up to that score line again into that next one there, and then give it a good press down. So you can see we've got the beginnings of that going on with some depth in the back there now. You can just see where it's actually left a little bit of gap. So then we're going to do the same with this one. So again, just a bit of glue on each side of that panel. And then I'm going to go into that next one.
Orange sherbet over vanilla ice cream is a dreamsicle.
Orange sherbet.
Over vanilla ice cream.
Oh.
You should have seen Jan's face.
Oh.
Jan's having a moment.
Like heaven. Oh, I might have to try that.
Oh, yes.
Orange sherbet over vanilla ice cream. Do you know, all the taste buds have just
on
gone
a stick.
in my
On
mouth.
a stick, apparently, as well.
On a stick, like a popsicle.
Like a popsicle.
That sounds wonderful. You know, we did have some very nice ice cream creations while we were up the coast, I must admit.
Really?
Yes, some very nice ones. I'm going to have to work hard to get rid of all those extra extra calories.
I'm well and truly off the wagon the last couple of weeks, Jan, as well. I think after the bank holiday we'll get back to it, but...
Oh, and then this one on the front, we've got the whole length now of this to fit on. So I've just got that one little tab left, you can see here at the front, and we're just going to stick it onto that tab at the front now. So I want a run of glue all the way down that edge, and the same on this side. Now if you want, you can put a piece of acetate behind here if you wish. I haven't on this occasion, but there's no reason, you know, why you couldn't put some acetate in here. And then all I'm going to do is line that up, little bit like we do the diorama cards when you've got the little tab stuck out at the side of the diorama, and then the same at this side on that last piece. So just line up the corners at the front there and actually pop that. So this is pretty much where I'd got to with the one that was the Christmas morning scene. You can see in there how we've got that same mechanism going on to what I've got in the black one. It's actually a little bit easier to see there in the white. And I'd done exactly the same, just used alcohol pens to colour in some of the images, and we'd got that far. So you can leave it like this if you wish, and again, matte and layer the back of it to put your stamp or your message on the back of it there if you were sending it to a friend or a family member. But on this one, what I want to do is actually make a front for it as well. So I've got some extra pieces that we've cut. So again, I've matted and layered using those same elements, taken a little bit of gold glitter card and some gold mirror just to frame this one, and then I've just cut that middle piece. That's all I've taken this time, just to add some detail onto the front. And again, we can pop the gilding wax on there just so that it matches the inside. So again, I'm just going to take a little tiny bit and just bring it over that edge so that it matches what we've got on the inside. I'll go over the stable this time as well. But if you've got some of the Cosmic Shimmer metallic polishers, that would work on here as well. Our Debs has actually got these on Create and Craft today, and I was watching her this morning when I was getting ready. She was on early this morning, and she used some of the spray and sparkle on the black card. That looked really nice. So again, if you've got any of the sprays there, especially the Pearl Diamond looks gorgeous on the black card. So that's another one that you could have a go with. Just need to grab that again just to get rid of the gilding wax. And then I'm going to stick this one straight down onto the front. I don't want it to be too fussy because we've got all that lovely detail going on the inside. So again, I'm just going to pop some adhesive on the back of that. And this is all matte black card that I'm using just to do the matting and layering with the design. A few little bits of the dotty on the back of there to stick those down. And then this one's just cut to fit the matte and layer that we've got on the inside there. And I think that orange behind there is just gorgeous. It just looks like the sunset, doesn't it?
Really beautiful, yeah.
And then again, it's crying out for that lovely little star there. So again, I should have had this upside down at the ready. So I'm just going to pop this on with a little bit of the tacky glue there. And then pop that one on there. And then what I've done is I've created a piece long enough to cover the front of my card. I just need to trim that down slightly, and then it's going to go over the back of one of the sets of the little zigzags and round the back of the card there to create like an opening for like the book. All right, so again, we want some tape down the inside of that glue tab, and I'm just going to take a tiny little piece off the back of there just so that it doesn't poke out of the top. And again, the glue wants to go on the inside of this one because it's going to stick onto the back of that piece that we've got going there. So I'm going to trap the book inside here and then wrap it around and just line it up to stick that piece onto the back there. And then on the front, we've got that lovely scene going on there. As I say, I think I just need to trim it slightly on one side, but we'll stick this one on first. So you've got sort of a little clue on the front as to what's going on. You've got a little bit of the design, but then on the inside, you've got the rest of it showing as well. So we'll pop that one on like so, and then I'm just going to trim the edge off that one just so that we've got a nice even border. You can do this with your guillotine if you prefer, just so that we've got that border all the way around there. And then again, I've got a couple of little sentiments. So we'll have the Merry Christmas, I think, on the front there. So we've got Merry Christmas, and one for the inside just says joy to the world. Okay, and again, stamps are from some of the Christmas stamp sets that we've got out. There are so many of them that have got sentiments in with them that you can just pick and choose from your stash. Okay, so you've got that lovely sort of example on the front there with that book design and then all the detail inside. So it actually stands in its own right. And then when you open up, you've got that design going on inside there, okay? And then the one that I did as a sample, I actually trapped some ribbon in between. So just on the, before I put the front on, I've just popped some ribbon on there as well, so that if you wanted to actually finish it off just by tying this, so that it really does look like a nice little gift, you've got that one on the edge there as well. So exactly the same thing, but just with that extra detail on there as well.
Really beautiful, Jan. Absolutely stinking gorgeous, if I say so. Did you want to get your cards ready for card of the show then, Jan? And we'll get that vote under the way. I'll just remind you again the different designs that are coming in here. Of course, you've got that incredible Bethlehem scene, which is this one here. We then have the, I want to say, Christmas morning, is this one? Christmas morning,
yeah,
that's the one indeed.
Fireside.
Yeah. Then we also have in here as well, love this one, that snow scene. Really love this, how it's been done with the gold mirror and the red matte mirror for those red doors. Really lovely. So many different ways you can use them. And then you've got that snow scene. That's a snow scene. Sorry, what was this one here? This one's also the snow scene, isn't it?
The snow scene's got the
Christmas Eve is the one with
and
Santa
the snowmen
in.
is the snow scene, yeah.
Really gorgeous. 42.39, 55.96 if you want to get your hands on these, which is awesome. So do snap those up. Let me share with you the other great deal that we've got on at the moment, whereby you buy the paper pads that I'm about to show you. If you buy one paper pad, you get one pack of stamping card for free, which is awesome. I've got the pastels here, which is this one. Oh, we always go the other way. Let's stay there. Stay there. We've got this one here, which is, of course, your brights there, as you can see, which is absolutely gorgeous. And then you also have the pastels in here in this collection for you as well, which is absolutely awesome. So make sure you grab those. Each of those coming with the white stamping card thrown in for free, which is brilliant. Let me share with you the details on the Gemini Junior. You guys are loving this. Lots of you having gone for this, $139.99 or $199.95. I'll share the features of that in just a second with you. We'll do a demo of the show first, if that's all right, Jan.
We will. Okay, so we started out at the top of the show then, showing you that that sort of original concept with those lovely little pieces that we made to separate the dies there. So that was number one, and that one folded flat with just a little bit of detail on the front there. So number one. Number two, we did the stepper card with the snowy scene on there. So that one was actually, if I turn it sideways, you can see the steps on that one with the children playing with the snowman. So that was number two. Number three, we went on to do the dome card there. So again, it's got a top fold on the card, but on the front, we've got that lovely dome shape going on there. So that was number three. And then number four, we went back to Bethlehem and we made
Sounds
that
like a sitcom, Back to Bethlehem.
Back to Bethlehem, we did that lovely scene die there with the detail in the back. And then the one that, not to put this into the, I'm not going to confuse it by making a number five because we haven't actually made this one, but that was the other design. That's the one that I haven't used with that same principle in there. So I'm not going to put that one into the show. This was number four.
Yep.
So it's just going to be 1, 2, 3
1,
or
2,
4.
3 or 4. Excellent.
Yep.
Get voting then. Crafted TV on Facebook, Crafted Companion if you're across on YouTube. You've got 5 minutes to get your votes in. Let's then take the opportunity. I know we've got the Gemini Junior on the show. Let's share all the features with you. All details there of the Gemini Junior, which is absolutely awesome. The comments are really making me laugh today, I must say. Who is it here? Says, that's actually true. We'd never give handsome sexy Joe 2 weeks off. A day or two at most. Oh, no, 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 no. That's Beth, who then goes on to say, where is it? I'll be counting the days. You know, that's 336 hours without sexy handsome Joe. What will we do? Marisol says, cry. That's what we're going to do, Beth. You guys, you are the sweetest, you really are. Joe, yes, Joe likes an ice cream bar. Ice Cream Bar is my middle name, Sarah's Creations. I used to get them from the ice cream truck, apparently, those orange dreamsicles is what we're saying. Yes, loads of you chatting away there in the comments as well. Don't forget to get your hands on these. They really are awesome. I know you are going to absolutely love them. $42.39 or $69.95. We're going to do a sort of squeezed in, sped through sort of half demo, I believe, Jan. Is that right?
Well, we're running out of time as always, and I left this one to last because, as I say, I should have liaised with Craig really, but when I saw Craig working this morning, this one is very much the same as what he did, just using one of the other designs. So we've literally got the first part of it on a piece of acetate in the frame, and then the other two in the background there. So I'm going to talk you through how this one's made really. I've got some of the elements, but literally just talk you through how I've done it. And again, as far as a full-blown demo is concerned, our Craig did this with the Bethlehem scene first thing on Wake Up Call this morning, and he did this with the cutout with the acetate in, and the actual finished one was similar. We've obviously think alike. It was similar to what I did in here with the black cardstock and the gilding wax, but it was actually into the frame with the acetate.
Nice.
There. Yeah, so very similar in design. So looking at that Christmas Eve scene again then, which is the one with the houses and the trees, we've actually got, whoops, I've got some bits done already. So again, the background, and this time I've used my aqua pens, you know, just to sort of mix it up a little bit to get that sort of watercoloured look. So you can see there where we've put that piece in that was with the trees on at the back there, which cuts out and again leaves the rest of the cardstock intact. And then a little bit of watercolour from the pens on there. So that's going to be my background layer. And then on the front of that one, we've got the little houses. And so again, we've used that second die there and popped that one onto a piece of scrap card. And I've used watercolour card again, with this being watercolour pens. So the aqua pens onto the glass mat and just brushed it on. You've seen us do that several times in the past. And then the third one, I've actually got the two tall houses here and cut them into, whoops, the front of my 7x5 card again. In fact, no, sorry, I've left this one at full size because I wanted the frame round it. So 8 1/4 by 5 3/4 this time. And again, just like we did with the black, cut this into the actual frame itself and then cut this away with the craft knife, or like I've just shown you, to get in with your scissors if you prefer to use scissors on there. So I've just measured 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, drawn my line in and then literally gone round it with the craft knife to cut out the centre. So the die's done the work at the bottom, but the craft knife's actually done the work round the top there. And then the plan was to actually pop a piece of patterned paper in the back there. So again, I've just chosen some. I think this one was from the Gnome collection there, if I remember rightly. And again, this was going to go in the back. So I'm not actually going to stick this one because I've got a finished sample that I can show you there. And then I've chosen a piece of acetate, which is just slightly smaller than the card, and I would stick that on the reverse there to actually fill in the aperture here. So if I tilt this now, you can see it's got that acetate in the background. And then over the top of the matten layer here, you can then start and build the rest of your little scene here. So those can go in the background, and you can see when this closes, and then just by adding a little bit of colour to the beginning of it, again with the watercolour pens, and I've added a sentiment on there as well, you can see how you can create those gorgeous, now the little snowman's so cute, he really is. I just left him white. You could colour his hat in, I suppose, with some black. But again, you know, you could put light behind the windows if you wanted them to look as if there were lights on inside. And again, you've got the rest of it. I've just popped a little tiny bit of foam on this one to stand it up a bit so that you can see you've got all those details in there, but absolutely gorgeous. And this is the set that comes with the reindeer and the sleigh, of course. So again, if you wanted to, you could actually cut out the die. Oops, just get that one off there. And you could have him going across the treetops there with the reindeer pulling the sleigh across the treetops. You could have a moon. I would probably put a moon in the background and then have him so that he was silhouetted against the moon. So yeah, not quite a full-blown demo, but you can see that sort of finished design. As I say, I left it because it was very similar to what our Craig had done, but it's nice to see it in one of the other styles as well.
Really gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. What an amazing launch we have had. It's been incredible. Card of the show. Card of the show was number 4. I just need to double check. I've lost it. There's so many comments today, I can't find it. Where is it? Demo number 4, Jan. Number 4 indeed it was.
I've stuck my bit of stuff down now, look. So number 4 was the book that we've just made at the end then there, yep.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
It'll be going up. Well, that's the Bethlehem scene is in twice so far for Card of the Day, because Craig's Bethlehem scene creation earlier is in there as well. Remember what you're getting in there then, those 4 incredible styles for you. So they are brilliant. I think they're going to cover a load of bases when it comes to the type of Christmas crafting that you're going to want to be doing. Here you'll see the 4 different designs in there and the die cuts that they're going to achieve for you. You've got that Bethlehem scene there. You also then have a Christmas scene. You've got Christmas Eve, sorry, a snow day scene, and your Christmas morning scene in there as well, which is amazing. Make sure you grab them. I know you're going to absolutely love using them. Don't forget to check out your basket. Don't forget to have a look at everything else that is on the show today as well. Jan, can I say it's been a pleasure to be back in the crafty studio with you. And we've got another show together later, haven't we?
We sure have, yeah. We're going to get sort of fed and watered in the break and have 2 minutes, and then we'll be back at 7 p.m. with Monday Makers. Got some more demos lined up for you for that one too.
Brilliant. Can't wait for that. 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. East Coast, 11 a.m. on the West Coast. I second-guessed myself there. You see, I thought I was wrong, but I was like, no, Joe, you got it. Don't worry. Yes, so hopefully you'll come back. We'll have loads more fun together. There'll be loads of inspiration and demonstrations. And, of course, there'll be lots of awesome deals. Right. I think it might be time to get some dinner, you know, Jan. So. Have a bit of a sit down, a bit of a natter and a gossip. So you've got 2 hours now. You can have 2 hours off and we'll see you back here in a couple of hours' time. I'll see you then. Take care.